Good morning, Gianna Marie. How are you doing? I hope you are having a wonderful day so far. Ramona White. Good morning, Ramona. Janice, Linda, good morning, good morning, good morning to each and every one of you. I hope you're all having a wonderful morning. Brianna, Scary Nona, good morning. I made it. Yes, you did. Yes, you did, Ramona. Long time no see. I hope you've been doing well. Janet P, good morning. I hope you are having a wonderful morning. Thank you for joining us this morning. Tammy, good morning. Hey, y'all guys. Greetings to everyone. It is currently 60 degrees where I am and raining. The rain is supposed to stop at about 10:30, 11. And then we're supposed to have clear skies the rest of the day, high up in the mid 60s. So, who knows? Might get a chance to go out and actually get in some golfing today. We'll see. Good morning, Interpeas. Good morning. Good morning to you. I hope you are having a wonderful morning. 98 in SoCal today. Well, we're getting there. I got about probably another, I would say, to answer your question. Well, not really a question here, but Gianna Marie, probably about another 2 weeks, and then it will be in the triple digits for the next several months after that. At nighttime, it gets down into like the 40s, but during the day, it gets into the triple digits here every single day, pretty much. Unless, but you never know. It's been a weird weather pattern. We've seen things happen in the weather that haven't had happened in over 80 years. Like in April, beginning of April, we got snow and hail and then tornadoes. And that never happens here. Ramona, today's high is 80. Hot in Colorado, we are on fire. Finally, the fire finally contained. Well, that's good. Peyton, good morning, Peyton, and welcome to this morning's stream. We're going to get started here in about another minute. We're going to start in on news and updates on cases that I've reported on. Just kind of saying hello to everybody. DD Parks, good morning. Purple, good morning. Gotta move my cursor. Going to the gorge. You can't wait for the sun and warm. It's been raining here for days. DD Parks. To the Gorge Amphitheater? Is that what you're talking about, to the Gorge? Gemma, good morning, Gemma. Short Nice, Aunt B, good morning to both of you as well. Welcome. But another 10 seconds here, we're going to get started on the morning news. All right, so Dee Dee, I've been going to the Gorge to watch concerts since it was just a grass. Well, they started planting the sod, and it was all just one hill that went down to the stage. Now they put up all that chain link and sectioned off everything. But it used to be they would open the gates and it was first come, first serve. Everybody paid one ticket and you just rushed the stage. And we used to camp, not there, but we'd camp down the road, overlooking the actual river itself. It was so beautiful. But now they have a campground and all that other stuff. It's changed a lot over the years. One of the first concerts I ever went to there was to see the Blues Festival, and I got to see BB King, Muddy Waters, and George Clinton and the Funkadelics. Boy, does he put on a show. I've never been. You've never been there? Oh, it's a great place. You can camp there. You can do everything there. They used to be the only way to get any kind of supplies was you had to go into town, but now they have, a lot of it's built up around there. There's things a lot closer now. All right, let's get this party started. Welcome to Saturday morning news and chat. Put myself in my little corner there. Hi everybody. I'm here. Just stuck in my little box in the corner. First case that I wanted to talk about was Angela Leanne Mitchell. I'm not sure if you've heard of this case of this mother from Texas. I've been following it for a while, and I was about to release a video on it. I have one actually shot, but then the case came to somewhat a conclusion. Instead of a search for the mother, unfortunately, it turned, very tragic. The dead body of a Texas mom was found stuffed in the car trunk 6 days after she was reported missing, according to reports. Although the 24-year-old victim, Angela Leanne Mitchell, hailed from Dickinson, Texas, she was reportedly last seen May 5th by friends about 12 miles away from Texas City. According to KTRK TV, someone called 911 on Wednesday to report a stench, what they believed was a decomposing body, coming from a white Honda that had been parked in a Texas City neighborhood for days. Upon investigation, authorities discovered Angela's body in the trunk of the vehicle. Her cause of death is pending. It has been ruled a homicide at this point, but they're not releasing much more details. Per the station, and no suspects have been. Next one. After not hearing from her daughter for 24 hours last week, Angela's mother, Georgia Mitchell, said that she contacted authorities in Texas City, where her daughter was allegedly last spotted. She said law enforcement passed her off to Angela's hometown police in Dickinson. She alleged neither department prioritized her daughter's disappearance. She's an adult, and I know that that's tragic to say, but she is an adult, and it's not necessarily, in law enforcement in a lot of areas, a top priority to find someone who has been missing, only a day. But that's the tragic, truth of the situation. I went back to Texas City, and they turned me away again for the second and or third time, and told me to file Dickinson with Dickinson because she resides in Dickinson. Georgia told the station on Thursday. I just wanted to find my baby. I just wanted somebody to help me, and nobody was helping me, she alleged. Georgia, she didn't deserve for someone to take her life. She's not a bad person. Angela leaves behind 4 children ranging in age from 9 to 7 months old. It's tragic. Well, he's going to know he's not going to go know his mama. Georgia said to Angela's infant son, he is, because I am going to make sure, but the fact that he is not going to remember what a wonderful mother he had and how much she loved him, I'm going to make sure that he knows. A GoFundMe with a $10,000 goal has been organized to help cover funeral costs. According to the Mainland Community Crime Stoppers, is offering a $5,000 reward for anyone who can provide information leading to a suspect's arrest. As a rule, I do not post GoFundMe's links unless they are from family or friends, and this GoFundMe is not by the mother. It's not by the siblings. So I do not post the link. I do not, and at this point, it could be a family friend who set it up. I just cannot at this point confirm who set up the GoFundMe, and if that GoFundMe is for the burial expenses for Angela. It may come out later that it is, and at that point, I will do an update if it is. Nine damn holes, and nobody bothers to pick it up, and I put it back. where it belongs. I'm giving it up after the first 3 holes. LOL. Francie, I got no notification. Oh, brother. I answered your question, Francie, and good morning. If you asked if there was going to be a live stream this morning, I replied back to you as fast as I seen it, and I was able to. I'm sorry about that. It's the damn YouTube system. All right, next case is Gabby Petito. Her mother has filed a lawsuit against the Dirty Laundries. According to court documents, Petito's parents have suffered loss of the care and comfort and suffered a loss of probable future companionships, society, and comfort following their daughter's death. Nicole Schmidt, Gabby Petito's mother, filed a wrongful death suit against the curator of the estate of Brian Laundries in Florida, which is the mother and father. They are the curators of Brian Laundrie's estate. And there were benefits that were received by mom and dad from the death and confirmed death of Brian Laundrie. The lawsuit, which was filed on Friday and obtained by the AP News Service, states Schmidt and her husband, Joseph Petito, incurred funeral and burial expenses, and they have suffered a loss of care and comfort and suffered a loss of probable future companionship, society, and comfort after Laundrie allegedly killed their daughter. No, there's no allegedly about it. We all know he did, but it has not. There. That's the thing that was really surprising to me was even the FBI and the state law enforcement agencies in Florida have not said that Brian Laundrie killed Gabby Petito. They have not formally announced that. If they would announce that, that would leave a lot more recourse for Gabby's parents in this case. But that at this point, since they haven't listed, Gabby's death, homicide, and at the hands of Brian Laundrie, they can only sue for to try to recoup some of those losses from the Laundries from the death benefits for Brian. So I do believe they're asking for $30,000 for compensation for funeral expenses. They can't sue for pain and suffering. They can't, but they on top of that, Gabby's mother has filed a lawsuit to try to get back Gabby's actual physical belongings, and they're not fighting it. They're just not answering to the suit at this time, and that's a civil lawsuit to try to recoup it, and get back the actual items that belong to Gabby, her personal effects. Do the Laundrie still have it? If they do, they're being real jerks about it. That's for sure. I'm sure you could replace the word jerk in there, with a lot of other words, but that's where they're at right now. So Gabby's parents have filed an additional lawsuit on top of the one that they already have going for the return of her personal belongings. Didn't like the coroner in Wyoming. Let's see if I can catch up with some of the. Good morning, Mike. Kandra Kra. Kandra Kra. Allah Akbar. Allah Akbar, Mike. Golf talk, Will. Oh, I kind of figured that, when I was reading about the 9 holes and you giving up after 3. They're just trying to be made whole, Mike. They want the Laundries and the money that they got from the death benefit for Brian, to be paid to help cover some of the funeral expenses for Gabby. They're not looking. They could find a way. There's several different avenues they could sue for punitive damages, but they didn't. They're only asking to be covered, to be made whole. And because there were very little benefits. There was a lot of money that came in through GoFundMe's and different things like that for both Brian and for Gabby, to cover some expenses, but got to be bigger than the inner peas. My two masters have room to sniff the bubbles. It's not. You're right, Mike. It's not their fault. It is not the Brian Brian's parents, fault that he killed her. But at the same time, it's kind of hard for me to judge it. Unless I was really in that situation. I'm just somebody from the outside looking in on it. And I looked at it was like, why didn't they share some of those benefits to try to, at least ease some of the pain and say, look, I know you're going to have expenses for Gabby. We did get some money. How about we give you back the personal items and we help you with some of the funeral expenses? They could have just made a donation to help, the funeral expenses, but they decided not to. And holding back the personal items, I mean, that's just petty as shit. Why would you not give the items back? They can't dispose of them, because of the court order. So they have them. They're probably boxed up in the garage. Did they really care about Gabby at that point? Is it about Gabby, or is it about getting some kind of revenge upon the negative things that one family may have said that hurt the feelings of the other family? I don't know. Thought if you died to violent crime, the government or police are not sure who, and then it went flying by, pays for funeral expenses. In a situation where for Gabby and for Brian, Brian's family had a policy on him that would cover accidental death or suicide, and they got to pay out from their life insurance policy that they had on Brian. And it's not what they had one just on Brian. It covers the father, his business, the mother, and Brian. So there's a policy on each of the three of them. Gabby's family, they had one, but after the divorce, that policy dissolved and nobody had one on Gabby herself. Where a lot of friends stepped in, a lot of contributions came in and helped cover a large majority of the expenses for Gabby's funeral and everything else. It did not cover all of it. And that's where the family had to step up, both the mother and the father, Gabby's mother and father, biological parents I'm speaking of, had to step up and give money to, pay out of their own pocket. And they're just trying to be made whole. Oh boy. Welcome from Croatia. I'm not sure how to pronounce your name. Zamja? Zamaja? Crow? I'm sorry if I'm butchering that. But welcome to this morning's news and chat. I'm pretty sure that and everybody's going to see it from different sides. There's always going to be people who are going to be in the Gabby camp, and there's going to be people who are going to be in the Brian camp, and then there's going to be people in the middle who just see it, like I do, as a tragic situation. And for Gabby, it's hard to wrap my mind around the fact that she stayed with somebody who, reportedly, according to, things that have come out since then, that he was controlling, he was, overbearing, and he may have been physically abusive to her and emotionally abusive towards her. If that is true, why would someone stay in a situation like that? And that's hard for me, to wrap my head around. And it's not just because I'm male and I can't wrap my head around it. It's just, I can't understand why somebody wouldn't leave the situation, escape the situation. But then at the same time, I know that there are people who are in situations like that, domestic violence situations, who are so controlled they feel like they can't leave. So it's a tough situation all around. The J is pronounced like a Y, I think. Zeb. Oh, Zumja. Zumja. And there's nothing wrong with that, Mike. I mean, there's nothing wrong with being in the camp, one camp or another, or being in the middle like I am. I just, I see it as it's a tragic situation all the way around. And yes, both parents lost their kids, and this, it didn't have to play out this way, but it did. We can't wind the clock back, and I in my mind, when looking over the situation, the timeline of events, the one point where I keep on coming back to where I was like, if she would just have done this one thing, it would have probably played out a whole lot different. If and that date would have been, when she dropped him off at the airport, so he could fly home to close out the storage unit. I that would have been the point where he wasn't physically there to control her, but emotionally he had such a tight grip on her. Yeah, it is. I see Mike's point. I see it very clearly. And trying to look at it from that perspective, putting yourself in in the shoes of the father on that side, and trying to look outward, and understand what's going on. I mean, it's just the best thing that could have happened was if it would have mutually, just agreed to, return each other's belongings and start with that, and then said, look, we both lost our children. We're both grieving. Why can't we just work together to make, the best of going forward? Help each other with, the funerals, pay our respects, and then mourn, afterwards and during. But they didn't. That's far from the truth. One side started bad mouthing the other, then the other one started bad mouthing the other, and then feelings obviously got hurt. And the one side decided we're just going to withhold things and we're not going to do anything and we're not going to talk to these people anymore or during. Obviously there's probably a lot more to the relationship than we know of. I mean, there's got to be a reason why, the Laundries never answered any of the messages from Gabby's parents during the actual search for Brian. They texted them, called them, emailed them, and they just never bothered to answer. Was there hurt feelings from before, where one side felt slighted over the other, or one was, may have thought, well, they think they're better than us. I don't know. I mean, I would just be, throwing things out there at the wall and hoping for something for the stick there. If I were on the jury and I'd find the Laundries need to return Gabby Stings, well, that will definitely play out in court, Mike. It's definitely going to play out in court. It's going to take a while though, because the district court there for civil lawsuits is so backed up right now. It's going to be a while. Good morning, Carol. Jennifer Hill. Good morning. I think Gabby has an amazing family. All for truly loved her and all their hearts. So very, very sad. It was. Good morning, Pink Camo. In my language. Zama means dragon. Zuma would be female. That's good to know. Thank you for letting us know that. Excuse me. Good morning, Colleen. Colleen 41. Good morning, Will and Shot. Good morning. I hope you are having a wonderful morning. Scrolling up. Okay, see that threw me off, Cement Shoes. I was looking at your icon and I'm like, that's Amber Heard. What happened to the Iceman? I'm like, I saw I saw you jump in and I'm like, who the hell's that the icon? I'm like, and then it finally hit me. That's Amber Heard. Good morning, Cement Shoes. I hope you're having a wonderful morning. I'm sorry for the pause and no conversation there, everybody. I was trying to figure out what his picture was, his icon picture. He threw me off there. Sneaky. Was a beautiful blonde. I didn't know Cement was a beautiful blonde. That's Amber Heard. It threw me off too. I was like, what is this? There's no Iceman? You like my prison analysis? Thank you. Is the Deep Hurt case over? I don't know. I haven't followed it at all. I've seen a couple highlights here and there, about Johnny Depp being, basically, a drug addict, alcoholic, partying, and then I've heard, I've seen a couple video clips here and there about Amber, just being, an abuser. I like the prison menus and schedules. Thank you, Mike. Two more weeks of the turd trial. Good morning, Amy. Welcome. I don't know enough about the case to formulate an opinion if one is worse than the other. Like I said, I haven't been following it. I mean, if that's what interests you, go ahead and watch it. I don't have anything against it. I guess, but from a lot of people that I've heard, that it's really interesting. The facet of the two of them and their fight, between each other, and who really defamed the other, and their ongoing turmoil within their relationship. Never understood why people get into relationships and stay in relationships like that. Like it's like, do they really think that they can fix the other person? What I want to know is how she was able to recall all those details after drinking 1 and 1.5 bottles of wine mixed with sleeping pills. It's a good question, Tammy. I'm sure that some of it may be her memory. Some of it may be, let's fill in the gaps, helped memory, from her attorneys. I'm sure that there's some of that plays out on both sides. JD was abused by his mother. Johnny Depp, well, yeah, that's been known for quite a long time, Amy, that his mother was just an abusive woman. I mean, she was no, no more wire hangers, mommy dearest, but she was up there. Mega pint. Whose mother wasn't. I did not exactly win the lottery with my mother. Wire hangers, no more wire hangers. I told you, no more. I think I was like, I don't know, 10, 11, somewhere in there. First time I saw that movie. My mom abused me, and I loved her to my soul. It speaks an awful lot about you as an individual, Mike. If you're willing to find a way to to get past the abuse and still have love for the individual, that speaks an awful lot about you. And thank you for being that person. I can't. Anything new on Casey White? Casey White has he waived extradition, so he's going to be, or if he hasn't, he'll be sent back to Alabama. I think they were already sent him back. I sent that movie to. Good morning, good morning, Gone Girl. Sent that movie to my mom. Joan Collins. Was it Joan Collins that was Mommy Dearest? Why do I think Catherine Hepburn for some reason? I don't know why. I mean, and Catherine Hepburn was on Golden Pond, so that probably not her. Probably was Joan Collins. I lived that movie. Joan Crawford. They were found not far from my house. Crazy. Really? In Evansville? You live near Evansville, Indiana, huh? Oh, Dynasty. I forgot all about Dynasty. Who shot JR? Who shot JR Ewing? Who was it? I remember that. Yeah, that was like, nobody missed that show. Dallas. I mean, I'm speaking of Dallas because it reminded me of Dallas. Sue Ellen. Was it Sue Ellen who shot JR? Primetime soap operas, I think that's what they called it. The Dallas and all the spin-offs. Was it a dream? I forget. I like the remake of Dynasty on Netflix. I've never seen it, Amy. I'll have to check it out if I ever get time. A lot of mothers severely disciplined their kids back then. I never knew any different. You know, Mike, I don't remember ever seeing any of my friends disciplined the way that I was as a kid growing up. My mom was not the disciplinarian; it was my father, and you know, and I knew when I messed up. It's when my mom would call me from outside or wherever I was by my full name. I knew all hell was about to break loose. I was pretty much a good kid. I saw PD in Man from Atlantis. My lungs sound like a little people fighting over bubble wrap in the morning. Oh, I'm sorry about that, Tammy. I don't know, Francie, if Vicky White's death could be an accident. Um, there's a lot of information, let's just say, that hasn't been confirmed yet, that she was planning on not going. If it came down to them being caught, she wasn't going to go, to jail. But I can't confirm the information that I have. That I have it over here on the right here. I print out the scripts to videos that I'm gonna make, and then I write down like a number and a letter next to it to the additional. So I write out the script, and then I write out the act. I make a point to write down where I found the actual information. Like, this script is only 2 pages long, but there's 6 pages of documentation where I found the information from for the actual video. But I haven't made it because I haven't been able to confirm everything in the video yet. Conspiracy theorists are saying she never died and that Casey is still at large. What craziness! It's okay. Well, heart failure can be full of lovely noises. Well, don't have heart failure then. Can you imagine going to jail or prison? No way. I visited them, and but I was free to leave afterwards. My friend works is a district court judge, and he gave me a tour. We built a new county jail. It's got five floors, I think. Yeah, there are 5 or 4 floors. But after they built it, we all got to take a tour of the place. The lockup, and see what the procedure was for how they bring inmates in and process them through the entire thing. It was actually pretty interesting. But I would never want to be in jail like an inmate. I was in jail for a few hours. It's hell. I can imagine that. No, not that you were in jail, Mike, but I can imagine that being an inmate would be hell. That I watched how they did the entire intake process from the moment the car pulls in. There's one door is closed. They pull the car in, and the other door closes, and it's secured. And then they process them through the entire thing. They go into a cell, and then they bring them out, and they sit them out in chairs one at a time, and they go through medical and everything else. And it was a whole long process, especially if you've never been through something like that. It can definitely, be a scary process. Any news about the precious Summer Wells? No, Jennifer, nothing really. I've been following it, but nothing that is concrete that she's still missing. Daddy Wells is still an idiot, and Mommy is not doing any justice for anybody. I don't want to say that either one of them are guilty, but I don't buy their story. We'll just leave it at that. I got into a heated debate with this highly enlightened moron. He swore that the whole escape was a federal training op and the media coverage was fake. Damn. Wow. One of the best things that I've ever seen was I was on a forum where people were flat earthers. They believe in the earth is a flat pancake. And somebody posted this meme that to them people they're dead serious that they really believe that the earth is flat and there's a giant ring of ice that on the outside edges. That's why everything just doesn't slide off of the earth, and fall into into space. They believe the Earth is flat, and somebody posted a meme. If Earth was flat, cats would have pushed everything off of it by now. and the earth is flat. Good morning, Theresa. Which one is it? Teresa Burke. Good morning. I should probably take a moment here and welcome all the new subscribers, along with those who have joined the Twitter, who have been watching. I can't see the Twitter stream of people actually commenting there, nor can I see the actual comment section on this live stream on Facebook. We're still working on trying to figure out how we can integrate all of it, because I have 3 different chat windows open here. The chat you guys are seeing right now is the chat just for those who are watching it from actual YouTube. Then there's one for Twitter, but I can't see it. It's just blank. And so is the one for Facebook. But anyways, new subscribers for this week are Vol Steak, Jeremiah Mann, Danny Philbrook, Michael Maddie Noon, Lori Love, Sheila McGee, Victoria Bentley Yeet, Teresa Tucher, Dylan Wetley, Vicenia Villelia. I think that's Villelia. I'm not too sure about how you pronounce the last name there. And Shelley Samuel, Maureen H, Vetty ending, or Vate ending. It's probably 2 words, but it looks like it's Vetty ending. Angela Boo, Beau, I think it's pronounced Boo. And Tulsa Line number 10. Welcome to my new subscribers to 411 now. Those who were watching and are now following me on Twitter. Maureen H, David, no last name, Scott L, Real 133, Janet Parlay, Michael, I think it's Michael, Mikeal, Michael with a K, Michael Hentford, James Stream, Heather Dorchek, and Crime Today, and 33. And I believe this is all supposed to be different words. 33 at Thenberg. But welcome, everybody. And Adam Brock, good morning. Dang late. I will have to rewatch. I hope you're having a wonderful morning all the same, Adam. And thank you for joining us. Welcome to all the new subscribers and followers. I'll freely admit though, I don't do much on Twitter. I'm kind of waiting to see, how this Elon Musk thing shakes out before I go back on the Twitter. I was getting tired of, the stupid little notice at the bottom that said that, whatever my post was about wasn't factually correct. So hopefully Elon fixes that. But apparently he's put the whole thing on hold, because his purchase of Twitter, until they can confirm that only 5% of all Twitter accounts are actually fake, and that it's not 44 billion people Twitter accounts are fake. If it's 5% and it's really 5%, then he's going to go through with the purchase. But what is your Facebook page? 411 now. Twitter, here, I'll post it. I can do the Twitter really easy. That's Twitter right there. At Billy Ray. Me. But if you go to Twitter and you put that in on Twitter, it brings me up. Or you can just search for 411 now on Twitter. But that's my at Twitter. I try to take 411 now as the when I signed up for Twitter for the channel, but there was another channel that was 411 new or something like that. It was just like one letter difference. Like instead of now, it was new. So I asked them, if they'd give it up, but they wouldn't. And I was like, all right, well, f you too. Thanks. So I went with my name. Billy Ray is what my eldest sister used to call me when I was a kid. She's called me Billy Ray, but it's Billy Ray is an amalgamation of my first name, my middle. I have two middle names. One of my middle names, I was like, okay, but my sister was the only one for the longest time that I allowed to call me that. It doesn't bother me anymore. No, no, Francie. Most people call me Will. I've gone by the name Will since I was in elementary school, or I guess depending on where you are in the world, primary school. I've always gone by Will because my father has the same name as me. Well, except for middle name. My father's name was Will. I'm William. I'm William, and so they always called him Big Bill or Bill, and they called me Will. And my son's name is William as well. So, but everybody calls him by Taco. Um, that's my son's nickname is Taco. But growing up, nobody called me Bill, and except for my older sister. She just thought it was funny to take Billy, like the song Billy Boy. She used to sing that to me when I was just a little kid, to get me to go to sleep. Because my oldest sister, is 18 years difference between the two of us. But I mean, there's more siblings in between, and it wasn't like my mom and dad, kind of like me and my wife. We went 18 years between the two of them. There's, if the oldest one is 18 years older than me, then I have a sister that is, well, she's since passed, but she was 5 years older than me, and then me, and then I have other siblings, two younger sisters that are, let's see, my young sister just younger than me would be 3 years younger, and then the next one is 2 years younger than her. Well, thank you, Jennifer. Per character doing a classic mic drop. I appreciate the super chat there, Jennifer. Thank you very much. My father is William Okay, Oakley. William Oakley. Oh, that's a good name. But the name William is it's been passed down. Like my dad's dad, so my grandfather and his side of the family, his middle name was William. That's where William actually started from. And then he named his son William. And then I have an older brother on top of it. He's a half brother from my dad was married when he was a young man, I think 18, 19, and he was widowed. She died during childbirth or just shortly thereafter. Kind of hard to tell because of the medical records and everything else. But so I have my older brother, then my sister, then me. Well, it went older brother, sister, me, sister. So, but I lost the sister that was just the closest to me in age. She passed away 4 years ago, almost 5, right in there. Miss her every day. Even though she would swear like a drunken sailor sometimes. She was a hoot. Passed away peacefully in her sleep because of medical conditions. But anyways, enough about me. That's all right, inner peace. None of us gets out of this life alive. That's the honest truth. Make the best of it while you're here. You know, I tell people all the time, the memories that you make last a lifetime. The memories you make with with other people and that they remember last a lifetime as well. You might as well be a good person, and form positive memories with people because why else? Do it. Just got here, Gene. Good morning. I'm gonna adjust the chair. I can lean back. Oh, my aching back. Wake up in the morning and everything hurts. Oh, legs, back. Oh, that's life. That's life getting older, isn't it? Howdy. Finley sounds like ultra Irish name. Well, it is. Um, from my father's side of the family, my father was second generation from Ireland. We still have family that lives in Ireland. A large Northern Ireland. Sorry, we have a large family in Northern Ireland. We have some family in Scotland, some in the UK, but my dad was second generation, immigrant from Ireland, I guess you could call it. But kind of funny is going when my family came through Ellis Island. There were two brothers and two sisters in the family when they came through Ellis Island, and immigrated to America. And one brother got the spelling of Finley, and the other one got Finney, Finney and Finley. Two brothers immigrated together, side by side, got completely different spellings of the same name. They didn't care. It all depended upon who's actually writing it down. Nobody prepares for the losses of you. Nobody does. Oh, that went by. I was starting to read that one. I woke up with a splitting headache. I'm sorry, Amy. Best hangover, or not hangover, but headache remedy that I know of is to take some Advil or Aleve or whichever you can take, acetaminophen, and take it with caffeine at the same time without eating anything. If you can stomach it on an empty stomach, take it together. Either a cup of coffee or a soda or something with caffeine in it, because the caffeine helps the acetaminophen or Aleve or whatever you're taking get into the system faster. I did that. Thanks, Will. You're welcome. My grandmother was from Ireland, and my grandfather was from England. That's cool. Red Bull. It gives you wings too. I still can't believe people sued over that. Now, in case you guys are not familiar with what I'm talking about, Red Bull, the energy drink, Red Bull. People actually sued the company because they did not get wings when after drinking Red Bull. They called it false advertisement. They sued them and they settled out of court that if you had a receipt that you could get a voucher for a free Red Bull. Or if you had receipts for 10 Red Bulls, you could get a voucher for 10 Red Bulls within a certain period of time. While only during that point where they were actually running the advertisement of, Red Bull gives you wings, but people actually sued over it. And the original first person who actually went to the attorney and sued actually really believed that he would get wings, or he'd be uplifted to the point where it would feel like he had wings. That was his original claim. What kind of world do we live in where people watch something like that and they really believe that they're going to grow wings out of their damn back after drinking an energy drink? If you are going to grow wings from drinking an energy drink, I would highly suggest you don't drink that energy drink. I don't want to grow physical wings out of my back. I have not woke up with a headache or a migraine in going on, say, 7 years. I went and got my, I think, pierced. I don't know what that is. Best thing I ever did for myself. I don't know what that is, Purple. One second. I take Maxalt MT. These are I have two different versions. I take these and I take an oral digestive that it dissolves on your tongue. The rapid relief. These are an extended relief, but I this is what I take for migraines. I suffered from migraines for 20 years. I used to drink so much Red Bull, I could outfly a 747. I drink a lot of energy drinks myself. Red Bull and Rockstar. I've never been able to get into either one of the two companies that fruity flavors. I just drink like the original of both. But Rockstar, not Rockstar, but Red Bull. I try to go with the sugar free. Like I said, it was the best thing I ever did for myself. I recommend it. I occasionally get allergy headaches. Purple wings, no more migraines. Or take BC because Excedrin with caffeine is already in it, and the headache. J Ray, good morning, J Ray, and welcome to this morning's news and chat. We're done with the actual news part. Where if you want to, you can watch it and rewind. Gayla Denson, good morning. Just popping in to say hello. Well, good morning, Gayla. I hope you have a wonderful day if you have to leave soon. I hope the weather down there, I hear that in SoCal, it's going to be nice and warm today. Migraines are dreadful. Symptomize, if you will. Thank you, Rihanna. There's nothing it's never going to go away. I get probably two a week migraines. My doctor put me on this stuff, the Maxalt MLT. This is the 10 milligram tablet. I take one of these every morning. This does not do anything for onset of actual sensitivity to light or noise or anything. It only it's got hope that it never, I would hope that it would help with sensitivity. If you could see all the lights that are on in here right now that are shining on me, I don't need I don't need a heat bill in this place because all these lights. Wah-ha! light up, probably land an airplane by these lights. But I don't know what that is to get pierced. And I don't think that it could happen because I'm a head trauma survivor. And the head trauma is what, and the damage to my brain is what actually caused the actual migraines, and it's still ongoing. There is nothing that they can actually do for it. So I don't know if anything piercing would actually help though. But I still don't know what that is. Is it like an ear or nose or what is it? I could Google it, but ooh, just saw 93. Wow. 80 here in Grand Rapids, Michigan today, Francie. That's not bad. It's gonna be in the mid 60s today here where I'm at. If Tim comes into town, which he might, now for all I know, he could be here now eating breakfast with my family inside the house. CBD oil. I've tried CBD oil, Rihanna. It didn't do anything for me at all, unfortunately. We had to actually, my doctor did it on a scale. We slowly weaned me off of the max salt, because I take one of those every morning. Slowly, broke it down, so I was taking less and less of it, so we could actually see if the CBD oil was going to help. Before I started taking it, so we had to make sure we got enough of it out of my system to see if there was any medical for it. Now, it didn't do anything for me. That doesn't mean it's not going to help a lot of other people out there. I know CBD oil has helped my niece immensely, and it's given her back her life and the ability to even live a life, because she was pretty much bedridden until the legalization of CBD oil came around, and it just like that, it was like overnight, that it helped her. So there's definite benefits for it. 70s in Oregon today. Janet P is down in Oregon. I might be making a trip down to Oregon here soon to Salem, because that's where my father-in-law lives, in the Salem area. He's supposed to come up here, but he hasn't come up here. Patty L, good morning. Going to be 90s in SoCal today. That's nice. That's what I was telling Gayla earlier, a little bit ago, I guess. Reichart, good morning. It's going to, just joining in, it's going to be extreme Nebraska. 80 here right now. Wow, Nebraska seems always to be cold or too hot. Well, you stay safe out there on those roads if you have to be moving on today within the state of Nebraska, Reichart. A lot of idiots out on the road. And I really do think that it's gotten worse since people are now more mobile after the COVID. I think the COVID freaking fried their brains. I was on the highway the other day, and I watched a lady go all the way across 3 lanes, and then into the turn exit only, and then come back over the grass back onto the freeway. I was born in Portland, Oregon. 104 in Arizona today. Portland's weird. I try to avoid Portland. CBD helps with your fibromyalgia. Well, that's good. Love Nebraska because it's flat, open skies. I want to go do one of those storm chasers things, where people, they chase tornadoes. I want to do that. It just sounds like fun to me. Anybody else think that would be fun, to get in a car and and chase tornadoes? I'd like to see one that's not messing up my home, because that's the only tornadoes I've ever seen. Ones that come and destroy my house or the barn or something, on our family farm. I'd like to go see them in person, where they're destroying something else besides my stuff. Do you still wear a mask over there? Where I am, no, no mask mandates here anymore. At least not yet. Well, I mean, what? Not anymore. We have 78 in Croatia. I'm 120 miles from California border. I stay away from Portland. Don't blame you. I've had to go there for a couple of events and stuff like that. But who, by the who was it that was going to go see Aaron Lewis in concert? Does anybody remember? Or if you're here, I wanted to see how that concert was. If anybody remembers, or if they've heard from that person. Aaron Lewis. Why do I stay away, Jennifer? Crime. Crime. That's my number one reason. Last time I was in Portland, they smashed the window out of my friend's car and stole everything inside of it. And we're talking 5 minutes. We parked the car. We had walked into the restaurant. We hadn't even gotten got seating yet. And they broke the window out of the car and stole anything and everything. And we watched the guys drive away. And the Portland Police Department was like, "What do you want us to do? Did you get a plate number?" No, there was no plate on the car. It's just not a place for me. The tornado in Port Orchard a few years back went right down my street. Ooh, that's not good. Antifa in Portland. That Mayor Ted Wheeler sucks. Is that who the mayor is? I didn't know who the mayor was. Is it the Popo? Poo poo? Oh no, cops are no help. It's not that they don't want to help. I understand that they at least during the COVID and everything else, they've changed the rules and a lot of things they just don't. They're not a high priority anymore. My 18 wheeler weighs 80,000 pounds. 80,000? Is that for the truck and trailer? 80,000, or is it just the the truck itself? I'm not. I have to admit I don't know too much about them. Gunman in my neighborhood yesterday. I haven't seen anything about it on the news. Wow, just just a truck, 80,000 pounds. That's a lot. You got one of those sleepers in your truck. Oh, I'm sure Reichart has great brakes. Why is this thing not closing? I said close. Tractor and trailer equals 80,000 pounds. I would let my mastiffs out to take care of them thieves. Excuse me. Sorry about that. Okay, I am still here. I have not gone anywhere. Smoke them if you got them. Holy cow. They had a shooting in your neighborhood. That's not good. We've been dealing a lot with not in the town that I live in, but one town over. They've been having a lot of problems with the pagan motorcycle group and the MS-13s. I don't know what the hell the issue is. I don't know, territory for drugs. I don't know. Didn't see it on the news, but they've been having a lot of problems with them. One town over from where I am, I guess they've had a couple of shootings and a murder. The highways have special exit ramps for trucks lost brakes. Oh, runaway truck ramps made out of soft gravel. I see them in the mountains. I don't see them anywhere else though. I see them at least in the Cascades. That's the only place I've ever. They're probably in the Rockies and other mountain ranges, but I've definitely seen them. You know, as I'm traveling from the east side of the state of Washington over to the west side to Seattle. That's another city that I avoid is Seattle. The crime there and the hands-off approach to certain crimes. Yeah, in the mountains. Pretty damn sure you don't want to ever have to use one of those. You know, I'm pretty sure Rykart doesn't want to use it. Probably tear the hell out of the front of the truck. But I've seen there's a YouTube channel. It's called Mike's Off Road Recovery. He's in Colorado, and Mike, they go out to the desert and places and recover cars and stuff like that. But um, they had to go get a car out of one of those, runaway ramps. There was a shooting somewhere over there. A few got killed and several casualties. Was that in Minnesota? Don't know. Did you miss the news? The other guy who broke out of minimum security? No, that was a camp in Texas. God, MS-13 is everywhere. We always had law enforcement bring them into our ER. Francie, they're just not. I'm not familiar with exactly what they're doing, but a lot of the issues in Seattle started with the call for defund the police. A lot of officers left the force. They decided to install community uh, social workers and other people to deal with low level crimes within neighborhoods, and they found is corruption, that from doing that, taking the money away from the police and giving it to community groups, and the crime rate has spiked through the damn roof, especially property crimes. But if they see like minor drug deals and stuff like that, they don't go after them. They don't arrest them. What is MS-13? MS-13 is a gang that I believe started in Mexico, in the country. They're kind of like what you might have heard of the Crips and Bloods and stuff like that, but they're from Mexico, Mexican like mafia kind of stuff. I'm not familiar when it comes to like different gangs and where they started from. I'm not too familiar with that. What a joke! Defund the police, law enforcement. Yeah, Massachusetts probably. I know it began with an M. Probably all tattooed up. Don't know. I know the ones that I've seen on the news are when they make arrests, they're pretty heavily tattooed, but jailhouse tattoos. If a car is speeding and runs into an 80,000-pound semi beast and die, it's not my problem. There was a lady who was a YouTuber. She died, what, mere seconds after posting a social media or update on Facebook or something like that. She ran into the back of a tractor trailer, semi. Died almost instantly. The video, I think Lamont at large covered it on his channel. Yeah, he only did a brief part of about the actual accident itself. There's other videos that are more in depth on it though. We don't have things like that here, thank God. And they're gangs all over the United States. They're everywhere. I don't. They're not in Croatia. That's a good thing. It was on the news at about 4 a.m. here. It's hilarious when dumb people try to break and check on a massive truck. Francie. Yeah, there's videos that are all over YouTube. Idiots in cars that try to brake check a semi. It's like, really? Who do you think is going to win this one? Brake check a semi? Dumbasses. They don't require an IQ test to be able to get a driver's license. Just be proficient at at driving a car and passing a stupid test. Colorado trucker got 110 years in prison for Lakeland, Colorado caused an explosion and many deaths back in 2019. Yeah, Gene, I thought they reduced his sentence down now, but there was a lot of things that go into that case. It wasn't. Some of it was his fault. Some of it wasn't. Some of it was just piss poor maintenance on the vehicle that he was driving. I remember that. My sister, actually, she lives outside of Colorado. Well, not Colorado, but outside of Denver, in Colorado. But she originally sent me that story when it happened. The 8 years. Thank you, Riker. I was pretty sure that they did. My husband drove a truck and said, "Stay away from them. Respect them." It's true. I mean, all they're doing, all Rykart and everybody else, who's driving a truck out there is doing is they're just doing a job, and none of them are making it rich unless they're an owner operator, and they're not making it rich then either. They're just trying to get by, and that's their job. Why anybody wants to go out on the road and screw with them is beyond me. But they're dumb people everywhere. I'm fascinated with massive semis and fire engines. Heavy equipment. My son is uh, heavily involved in heavy equipment, bulldozers, dump trucks, any kind of like heavy equipment. That's what the hat that I'm wearing is from the YouTube channel Diesel Creek. Um, he's got some videos where he's fixing old auto cars, like older semi truck auto cars, heavy equipment, stuff like that. But my son loves watching that. I let him watch 2 or 3 of the videos, at night just before he goes to bed, and then we read books, and 90% of the books that he wants to read now are about equipment and stuff like that. Here you can get more than 40 years for whatever. Failed the driving test in the morning, so she borrowed a neighbor's car and passed in that. My sister, um, so she would be the sister that's just younger than me. She actually failed her driver's license test 7 times before she passed it. 7 times. Charles Bennett, good morning. People don't realize how much space ahead of a truck they need to stop. Don't pull in front of them too closely. That's true. Hello, M8 M8S's. Try looking on YouTube with the lady who continually fails driving tests. I think she tried the test for over 20 times. Wow. No driver's ed. There isn't any driver's ed like there used to be. When I was in high school, it was a class you took in high school that taught you driver's ed. What by the time my daughter was in high school, I had to pay $600 for her to go to a driver's ed school to get her license. $600. I'm like, for what? I could do the same thing with my car, but requirement that she has in this state, you have to actually go and get an actual driver's ed school in order to actually get a driver's license. Wonder if she had a bad driver or just a bad test taker. Cray cray, 420. It's 420 somewhere. Cray cray. Welcome. Welcome to this morning's news and chat. Got about another 8 minutes, and then I'm going to have to wrap this up, ladies and gentlemen. 8 more minutes. Truckers need to pass me in 75 miles an hour on the lane here. Colorado, be aware of the dare to go onto the highway. My 3 sons are now 2 years old and are all about tractors, wheels, cars, and new love of my life. Shout out to Weston. If I had a kid, I'd teach them to drive as soon as they can reach the pedals. This is the way it was when I was a kid. We grew up on a farm. We drove before we were ever even out of middle school. As soon as we could sit and turn the actual wheel on the truck, my dad actually took 2x4s and put them on the pedal with extensions, and then another piece of flat 2x4, so it actually reached the pedals, so we could drive the truck around on the farm. It was fun in high school. We had different cars to learn in. Loved the B-dubs. We had I want to say it was some kind of Pontiac. It was like a 4-door sedan, some kind of Pontiac that we had as the driver's ed school car. It was white and it black letters down the side that said student driver in big black letters down the side on both sides of the car. Back of the wagon, my dad came out, 1 scratch on him. Thank God. Wow, that's good. Death of your girls? Told them they got food. Just drop the food and walk away. Your mastiffs. Mastiffs are pretty big. Pretty big. My sister used to have a bull mastiff. She got a Saint Bernard and a Pyrenees, I think it is. Now they're both big, huge dogs. For some reason, she likes big dogs. Good doggies. German Shepherds for me. That's big enough of a dog for me. I don't think I'll ever have another dog though. The idea was after our last pet left us, was to not get any more. And then I ended up getting a cat because, well, it needed a home. I couldn't just have it go to the pound. It was up in a tree, and we rescued it out of a tree, and nobody around there had ever seen the cat before. So now I have a cat. He's over, not this green chair or purple chair. There's a black chair over that way. He's asleep on the black chair. His name is Bogey. I love a German Shepherd. Yeah. My last German Shepherd is right here. He will be with me forever. Cha Weenie thinks he's a Great Dane. Short dog complex. That's funny, Patty. Love rots and dobies, dories or dories. I don't know what a dory is. Dobermans, dobies. But Lucky was German Shepherd, but I've had a German Shepherd. He was not German Shepherd. A he was a Rottweiler and a um, damn it, what was the other dog? Not Lab. I'm drawing a blank on it. I can picture the dog, but I can't remember what the hell the name kind of was. But he was a mixed breed. He looked like a Rottweiler. He had a big head like a rot, but and big, huge, giant paws like a rot. But he was oh damn it, what the hell was he mixed with? I can picture both of the parents. Oh well, it'll come to me at like 3 o'clock in the morning. I'll remember it then. I learned to drive a 5-speed on a tractor when I was 14. Tammy, that's cool. I don't remember how old I was. Couldn't tell you, but I know I used to drive the John Deere tractor. It had the reel-to-reel mowers and the cultivator on the back, but I don't remember the speeds or what size of John Deere it was. I know it was an older one. It was probably 1960s, ish, John Deere. But Rhodesian Ridgeback. He was a Rottweiler and Rhodesian Ridgeback mix. I knew it would come to me. I could picture the stupid brown dog. That was the dad. Mom was the rot, but he looked just like a rot except for a little bit of a smaller body. I have a little mixed terrier named Ellie. Got her after my mom died 9 years ago. She is 10 years old and spoiled rotten. Oh, and Angela Barnett, 54. If I hadn't said good morning to you, I'm truly sorry if I didn't. But that sounds like a really cool dog. I like little terriers. They're not tiny like a Chihuahua. I got cats bigger than that. Well, if everybody give this a thumbs up if you like this morning's stream, I really would appreciate it. But I'm going to have to take off here soon, and I hope everybody has a great day today. And don't forget, we have trivia tomorrow night at 5 p.m. Music crime trivia. If you're new, give it a subscribe, hit that bell icon, do all those good things, give it a thumbs up, share it with other people, do all this stuff. But I really hope that everyone has a great day today and stay safe out there. And Reichart, you stay safe out there on those roads across America. Like I said, there are a lot of morons out there, and as you know. But everyone, have a great day. Thank you again. Pit bulls, but they are empty from UK. Exempt. Oh, exempt. I can read. I can English. Have a great day, everyone. My cat was a Maine Coon. She weighed 25 pounds.